Hello and welcome to the United Man. My name is Shane. Today we're going to be going through all the latest Manchester United news. Now, that includes everything what's happening with the latest deal and Alexis Sanchez leaving. The latest on Jadon Sancho, what we reckon will happen with that. Also, what's been going on with Paul Pogba. He's been receiving a lot of abuse. I'll give you all my opinions on that and more. Just wanted to say before we get started, thank you very much guys. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up to date with all things Manchester United. That's all the latest news, gossip and more. And if you're returning guys, thank you very much for your loyalty and support, and we shall continue to do great things. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so what is the latest on the Alexis Sanchez deal? It would seem as though all things and all roads are pointing to Inter Milan at the moment. He is said to agreed to personal terms there, both in the short term and long term. That meaning it's a loan deal with the potential to be in a permanent deal as well. Figures being reported in the ways of 15 million to 18 million. This seems to be one of those deals where, because we're paying someone a heck of a lot of money, we will end up actually paying or subsidising part of his wages, because obviously he's not willing to take a reduction in that £400,000 a week that he seems to be getting at the moment. Now, with Alexis leaving and us having to pay for him essentially to leave, we're having to pay Inter Milan, we're having to pay Alexis Sanchez money to go elsewhere and play for someone else. It feels like a very bad piece of business financially on our part. Real interesting on this one, we have in our possession at the club, we have a very few selection of strikers at the moment. That's including Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood, and currently Alexis Sanchez. Now, I know we have youth on our side. We have Daniel James looking on breaking through. He started obviously for Man United in the game against Chelsea, but we've got Tahith Chong to support that. But where's the extra support? Because if you look at it, you can essentially play all of our forwards in one game. That's Martial, Rashford and Greenwood. Obviously, Sanchez has been recouping from injury, but what happens if one of those guys get injured? Now, I've already said numerous times that we are going to be struggling in terms of getting goals consistently. Now, we only scored one goal against Wolves and we only had a handful of shots actually being taken. So it's not too encouraging, and I don't know if that's the right strategy for Manchester United to let Alexis Sanchez go to Inter Milan. Long-term consistency over short-term intensity, meaning we essentially, Ollie is trying to build something from the core, from the root of what Manchester United is and what they should be and what we have been, which I'm all for and all behind. But in the meantime, I don't really feel it's beneficial if we're shooting ourselves in the foot in terms of not having any cover. Now, over the course of the season, you're going to get loss of form, you're going to get injuries, and you're going to get suspensions. Obviously, we're praying that that doesn't happen to our forward line. But even if we kept Alexis Sanchez, I still think we're a little bit short. Short on experience, but we'll be also short on bodies then if we do let Alexis Sanchez go. So I really don't know if that's the best idea. Now, you'll see what I put in the graphic there about Pogba in regards to this, how we're treating our world-class player now. Obviously, it's all related or follows back to the penalty miss last night. So, I'm still trying to gather my thoughts in regards to where people get off in terms of trying to racially abuse someone, let alone abuse someone, but racially abuse someone in regards to them missing a penalty kick. Now, I know football's trivial. I know people are trivial when it comes to football. However, that's a personal attack on an individual where it's not warranted. There is nothing or any way, shape or form where that would be warranted. And Paul Pogba, for example, he said that he wanted to leave. One of the reasons he wanted to leave Man United is because he didn't feel and doesn't feel loved. I don't know if that's within the players or the man. I'm certainly sure Solskjaer shows him enough love. But the last game of the season, at the end of last season, the abuse that he was getting, and he was stood in front of a section of fans, and the abuse that he was getting, he was standing there and he was taking it, and he was saying sorry. He was saying, "I've tried my best," and they was just kept giving him abuse. Like, you know, would you really say that? Would you really say that to him one-on-one in the street if you saw him? You wouldn't. You really wouldn't. And, you know, with all due respect, Pogba's 6'3". He's a kickboxing athlete as well. So you definitely wouldn't be saying that to him in front of his face. But in any case, I'm not naive enough to believe that racism has completely disappeared. I'm nowhere near shape or form do I believe that. I've seen it, I've experienced it myself, but as I said, it's in the public eye, and people feel that they can behave or be or act a different way when they're in a certain environment or we're around certain people. And this guy, essentially, is an entertainer. He gets paid to play a sport that we essentially fund. So I don't see where people, like I said, and it's even worse, that people are doing it on social media where he cannot say anything back to that specific individual without looking like an idiot. So those people that are keyboard warrioring or warriors, whatever you want to call it, just, you know, leave alone, man. Yeah, by all means, have your opinion on a guy's performance. Have an opinion on the fact that he took and missed the penalty instead of Rashford. Have your opinion on that. Have your say in that. Fine, just like I do. But attacking a guy personally, racially, that's, you know, you're looking at Stone Age business. It's just out of order, man. And like I said, I'm not naive enough to believe that racism's gone completely in the world. But, you know, football is a global game, man. It's something that brings everyone together. Absolutely everyone. And we take for granted the positivity that football and sport in general brings to people and has brought to people. But then you get the minority that always seem to be heard because it's negativity. Negativity always seems to be spread or put on the highest heights more than any kind of positivity. And as I said there in the graphic, can you blame him if he wants to leave still? You know, when that's been put on top of other things, I'm sure. Now, obviously, you would have seen news in relation to Paul Pogba's brother coming out saying that he believes that, you know, Florentino Perez, Real Madrid president, will get the deal done before their transfer window closes. Now, this racial abuse that Pogba has received and receiving now, that's enough to tip anyone over the edge, regardless of what's been going on previous. Now, the fact that this has happened, how do you say as a manager, right, we're sorry you received that, Paul, but still stay with us, even though you're already looking to go, possibly? There's nothing you can say to that. When you're receiving racial abuse, I know, I've told you already, I know personally, when you're receiving personal racial abuse, there's nothing that anyone can say to you. People will rally round and support you like the lads have. Like you've seen Harry Maguire come out and say his piece, you know, saying that people should be, you know, held accountable and reprimanded, made to use driver license and passports and whatnot before they go on social medias, but so they can't make fake accounts. Rashford's come out and say, look, this needs to stop, you know, all that kind of stuff. People will come out and support and rally round and back him up. But the point is, people still think that it's okay to do this and that. I'd love for that individual, those small minority of individuals that decided it was a great idea to go there and let's say racist things to Paul Pogba because he missed a penalty. You know, let's go and do that. I'd love to see those individuals one by one stand in front of Paul Pogba on their own in a room or somewhere there's no cameras, and let's see what they say then. Let's see what they say then. Let's see, because we know that these people are just absolute wimps. They're not going to say anything. They're more, oh, Paul Pogba, oh, Paul Pogba. They're not going to say anything to the guy's face. And they're definitely not going to say anything like that to the guy's face. Like I said, man, it's just people, I'd love to say, you know, just being brave. It's not brave. It's not brave to racially abuse anyone. It's pathetic. Like, as Harry Maguire said, it's pathetic. You know, you don't win anything but by, you know, abusing anyone, let alone racially abusing anyone. So for me, I've gone through it myself, you know, in throughout my life. It's still prominent, it's still there, it still happens in all walks of life. But as I said, for these people that are attacking not just Paul Pogba, but you know, you've seen it in Italy, you've seen it in Italy a lot more. But you know, just the whole thing, man, it's pointless. You know, you're not brave, you're not big, people don't back you, you're stupid, man. So, like I said, find these people, ban them, get them off the internet, all that kind of stuff. Punish these people. Like you go and, you know, you go and find the players. Yeah, they can afford it. Go and find these people what they can afford as well. That's what I say. One of the things you could do. But anyway, that's my rant in regards to obviously people attacking other people negatively. But yeah, let's just leave that alone, please, because it's no good for anyone. And it's certainly no good for our star that we want to keep. I know it's a minority, but like I say, those guys seem to stand out a lot more, and obviously that kind of thing, you know, that rings true in your ears, and it'll hurt. It will hurt him, I'm sure. You know, so yeah, let's just leave that alone. But guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new and you're watching, and also if you're not and you're coming back, thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe, leave your comments below, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.